This is G.I. Joe Fan 2001 with part 2 expressing my thoughts on the current state of Sonic the Hedgehog, a gaming franchise I'm slowly getting into. Part 1 is a link in the description down below. It addresses what has been going on, a breakdown of the eras of the franchise, a bit about the new game, and the possible voice cast for the upcoming animated Sonic show on Netflix called Sonic Prime. So on with part 2. Previously, we have addressed possible voice cast, but onto what the show is about. According to the description from Netflix, it is about Sonic saving a, quote, brand new strange multiverse, later revealed to be called the Shadowverse. It will have 24 episodes and will be targeted towards kids, families, and longtime fans of the series. It has also been described as a, quote, journey of self-discovery and redemption. There is a lot to speculate, and you may not know it, but the name of the show originates from one of the old Archie comics in which Sonic teams up with different versions of himself. The main Sonic is referred to as Sonic Prime, and the show is being written by Man of Action Entertainment with WildBrain animating it. There are two things to know with these two companies. Man of Action Entertainment was the studio that created Ben 10 in which the main character meets different versions of himself. So does that mean Sonic Prime will be Ben 10 but with Sonic heroes, or will it be like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and just another generic part of the multiverse trend? The former seems more likely to me, not just because it was made by the same writers, but because Sonic Prime has been in development for many years, possibly before Into the Spider-Verse was written and during the original run of Ben 10. What we do know is that IDW comic writer Ian Flynn won't be writing for Sonic Prime, nor is Tyson Hesse involved. The other thing worth noting is the animation studio. People have pointed out an interesting phenomenon. WildBrain is the current owner of Sonic SatAM. And some of you will be asking how they own it, and will say something like, doesn't Archie own all of those characters except for any of Ken Penders' creations? And since they no longer have the license, how will they appear? Good question. Archie doesn't own them. They are created for two separate continuities by Sega of America, and the Sega of Japan, despite little oversight, owns them. And now for a brief history lesson. DK Entertainment, who created Sonic SatAM along with Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic Underground, was bought in 2008 by the rebranded Cookie Jar Group, formerly called Centaur until a massive scandal. 4 years later in 2012, Cookie Jar, now in the assets of DK, was bought by WildBrain, then called DHX Media, for 111 million Canadian dollars. And that is how they currently own the first free Western Sonic cartoons. They also have channels on YouTube dedicated to these free shows along with the other shows they own, often uploading full episodes. So it would be possible for the D characters and the Freedom Fighters to appear in a show about the Sonic multiverse. When asked about the multiverse concept and whether or not it will be a new continuity, Duncan Lowe said, quote, there is already one Sonic universe, we're just adding to it, unquote. Based on what he said, this will likely be the first animated incarnation of Sonic the Hedgehog that is canon to the main game series. Think about it, none of the other animated shows are canon to the games. Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic Underground are more or less Sonic in name only, especially the latter. Sonic SatAM was a springboard for the Archie Comics run, the OVA was meant to be a pitch for an anime series that never happened. Sonic X was an animated adaptation of the adventure games, and Sonic Boom was a show that was a tie-in to the worst-selling game in the entire series. The last one is interesting as the game took place before the show, but the Boom series is its own separate universe. Now with the self-discovery and redemption part. This strongly suggests that the show will have mature storytelling, something that neither Man of Action nor Sega are strangers to. This type of tone has been seen in Ben 10 and other Cartoon Network shows from the mid-2000s such as the original Teen Titans and Hot Wheels Excel Racers. And keep in mind that these shows, along with Sonic Prime, are targeted towards kids aged 6 to 12, so it won't be super mature and too dark for kids. And the latter hasn't done this in a while. We can't talk about Sonic Prime further unless we address the previous works of Man of Action and WildBrain. Man of Action has also created Generator Rex, The Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Ultimate Spider-Man, Marvel's Adventures Assemble, and Mega Man Fully Charged. Rouleau has stated that Prime will be similar in tone to the first example, but the last example is where worries about the show begin. Sonic Prime will be animated in 3D, so is Mega Man Fully Charged. And the latter wasn't received well, but some say it got better over time. It is worth noting that Mega Man Fully Charged was animated by WildBrain's Vancouver studio, the same studio that will be animating Sonic Prime. People are also skeptical to how the multiverse concept will be pulled off, and with where the games have gone in recent years, these fears and worries are justified. The colors there may not be completely dead and the new game may be part of it, but Sonic wasn't always a comedy series. It often had serious situations balanced with comedy, even since its beginning. The Adventure era is often compared to shonen anime, mainly due to its serious tone. Sonic Adventure had the character stopping an ancient god of destruction named Chaos, and that game showed us glimpses of an ancient Echidna civilization turning to corruption and war. Sonic Adventure 2 had the character stopping a space colony arc from crashing into the Earth. Even a critically panned Sonic 06 attempted to tell a serious story, with humanity eventually turning on Shadow, Blaze sacrificing herself to stop Iblis, and even had Sonic getting impaled in the chest by Mephiles the Dark. And since the critical response to Sonic 06 and the release of Sonic Colors, the tone of the series has been more quote-unquote kid-friendly, even if forced to try to tell a serious story. This is not saying you can't tell a serious story with anthropomorphic animals as leads. Just look at the Rebel series. As stated before, the series had an equal balance of a serious tone and lighthearted moments, and now we have an uneven balance in favor of the latter. But on the upside, most things come in cycles, and that may include all that Colors era meta humor. This is why a lot of people feel that we are entering a new era for Sonic, something that started with the movie being a box office success. And as of this writing, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie is the second highest grossing film of the 2020s. So this concludes part 2 of my thoughts on the current state of Sonic. Until then, this is G.I. Joe Fan 2001, wishing you guys stay safe, and I'll see you for part 3.